Ohio State didn't make it to the College Bowl playoffs. They lost to Michigan for the third time in a row, which in my lifetime has never happened. Never happened. Never seen it. Couldn't even conceive that it happened. It was stories of old. Not what we expected. And I think that they picked the wrong guy. I think a lot of people think that. And it is what it is. Kyle is transferring out. He needed assurances that he would be the guy this coming season. And Ryan wasn't willing to give him those reassurances. And, you can look at it from Kyle's perspective. He's got 1 year of eligibility left, had a decent season, at Ohio State. Can he parlay that into more starting time elsewhere? But you'd think for a guy that just went 11-1, that he would have the level of confidence in himself to be able to win the starting job next year. But instead decides to enter the transfer portal very, very, very abruptly, without warning, to, most importantly, his teammates and his coaches. And it is what it is. Moving on from Kyle, now we get to really, truly experience the Devin Brown experience. At the beginning of the season, I said that when you watch them both in press conferences before a starter was named, that there was just a clear difference between the demeanor of Kyle and the demeanor of Devin. Kyle was very reserved, almost seemed frustrated at times to be in the conversations themselves, and to be up there with Devin. Maybe he thought that he won the job before the competition started. Who knows? But Devin, on the other hand, just has this, I called it moxie at the time, and that Joe Burrow it factor, that Patrick Mahomes, that, you know what I'm talking about, that it factor. That Josh Allen, get it done, body on the line, doesn't matter if you're going to end up injured kind of give a shit factor, which in college football, to win at the highest level, you absolutely have to have. And that was the difference in the game against that team up north. They had a guy in J.J. McCarthy willing to put his body on the line if they were going to need him to win that game. And I think if it came down to it, he would have, and it's because he has that it factor, that shit to him, that moxie, that prove everyone wrong, that dog mentality. And we were missing that. And we missed it all season long, man. Missed it all season long. Missed it in the first quarter, missed it in the second quarter, missed it in most fourth quarters. And they're lucky they didn't lose more than one game this season. And I think as a Buckeye fan, we have to be honest with ourselves that that's where they were. However, the other side of the coin you have to ask yourself is, if they could get all of that done and be that close to beating that team up north, probably the best team they've had in the last, 20 years, best team since 97. They lost by 6. So what does that say about the team as a whole otherwise? Just really frustrated that decision got made to keep Kyle, and it was made out of fear. I also said that was important, that the decision Ryan Day had between the two was going to be, it was going to have ramifications, and that if he made the wrong decision out of fear because one would exit to the portal, that Ohio State wouldn't reach its goals this year, and they didn't. And they're not going to, unfortunately. But every, lesson is an opportunity to learn, right? And Ryan, if he's done anything, has shown the ability to be reflective, correct mistakes, and move on. Unfortunately, it's cost Ohio State a lot of chances, in my opinion, over the last however long he's been here. So the selfish, fan in me is like, man, they were robbed of 2019, couldn't compete in 2020. Did they have the right players on the field? Some would say yes, not in all positions. 2021, 2022 with CJ, and was he being coached not to run because of who was behind him? We know who was behind him now. But then again, Quinn Ewers left because he couldn't play right away. So it's just like roster management with the most important position, over the last few years has really put them to where they are today, where they have a Maserati of an offense and they've got a guy that has his, temps or just got his license and is not trying to get a speeding ticket running the offense all year. And that's not what was passed off to him. CJ ran this thing like a freaking well-oiled machine, and he passed it off to Kyle, and Kyle was afraid to put his foot down on the gas. And Devin has a lead foot. So between the two, I just think the wrong decision was made, and we see what happened. Now that wrong decision, again, in hindsight, meant they went 11-1, and they're going to play in the Cotton Bowl against Missouri. But we know that's not what their expectations or goals are every single season. And as fans, that's not what we're looking for. So we deserve to call it out, to be a little critical, and to ask these questions as fans is, how much longer are we going to make the wrong, easier decisions at the time that lead to failures in the future? I would have been just as confident in Ohio State's ability to go 11-1, if not 12-0, if at the beginning of the season he named Devin the starter, Kyle transferred, and we rolled with Devin, Tristan, and Lincoln. Devin likely doesn't get hurt if he's not forced into a package in the red zone to make up for other weaknesses around the team, aka the quarterback. See what I'm saying? That was a symptom of the root cause. The root cause is he made the wrong decision. He made the wrong decision for what reasons? The betterment of the team, NIL, roster management. Those are all symptoms. It's because it was the easier of the two decisions. And he's in a really tough position, so I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I have any idea what it's like to be the CEO of the Ohio State football team. But I've been in a position to make tough decisions, and I've certainly made the wrong ones before. When you're in a high level of leadership and you make the wrong decision, there is no magnifying glass bigger in the world than that moment. And right now is a time for us to reflect and a time for us to ask ourselves those tough questions, and I know that he has. Kyle leaving means that he was told the right things. So that's crazy encouraging. I think Devin is the guy. I think he was the guy and should have started. But that's water on the bridge. Now we get to see him live and in charge of the entire offense against Missouri. Tons of upperclassmen that are coming back to play in this game, and the outcome of this game, how Devin looks in this game, is going to basically tell us what to look forward to or what to not look forward to, during the entire offseason. Are they going to bring in a transfer? Are they not going to bring in a transfer quarterback? What's that do for the room is I hate that question, because it's the exact opposite mindset that the Georgias have, the exact opposite mindset that the Alabamas have. They don't give a fuck. They play the best players, period. Roster management is not trumping putting the best 11 guys on the field on offense and the best 11 guys in the field on defense. It's really that simple, right? Again, I'm just a fan, not an expert. But so we get a chance to see him play with the new guys, Brandon Ennis, Carnell Tate, Jelani Thurman. Emeka's going to play. I'm excited to see the running back room. But truth be told, the only thing I care about is how Devin looks. That's it. That's all I care about, is how Devin looks. Buckeye fans, be prepared. He's going to make mistakes. That's okay. He's going to have some crazy highlights, and I cannot wait to see them, talk about them. But he's going to provide juice, energy, excitement, and that's what I'm excited about.